Yeah, ancestry kits, we know them well. They trace family history through DNA. They become one of the hottest gifts to give this past holiday season. In fact, one company now says that it has 5 million people in its database.
Yeah, but before you swab your cheeks, send in your profile, our own Leah Durain finds out just how reliable these at-home tests really are.
One of the questions that comes up when I share that I took a DNA test to find out more about my own ancestry is, what if those results are wrong? Now, I took the 23andMe test, and so I asked the company about the reliability of their results. We compared their answer with one from a professor at UTSA who specializes in cellular and molecular biology. Now, a spokesperson for 23andMe says, quote, "Results are highly accurate, down to 0.1%. We are on the side of being conservative, so if we cannot match a DNA segment to a specific country within a reference population, we assign customers to a broader region within that population." Now, from a UTSA professor, John McCrary understands of how the company determines ancestry. He says, quote, "That technology is fairly well developed now and should be fairly reliable." He says he does not have enough information to comment on the method used by the company. Now, another common question is about the company sharing results with research companies. Now, when you set up your profile with 23andMe, they ask for your consent. You can see here where I can change my consent at any time. You can also ask the company to store your sample or to go ahead and discard that saliva. As for my results, I'll share those with you. We'll actually have those coming up a little bit later in the show. Leah Durain, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.